Right then. Actually, it's worked out quite well because I need to change the kiln elements on my kiln. So I thought I'd just film it and do it. I have 2 of these skutt km1027 kilns. And then I have 1 km122 kiln. It's essentially the same for all skutt kilns. The reason I know that my elements need changing are my glazes aren't getting to the right temperature, aren't firing in the right color. Now that could be the thermocouple or it could be the elements, but in this case I know it's the elements because they look very brittle and they have actually snapped when I touch them. They just snap like so. So what I'm going to do first of all is remove all of the elements. I'm going to show you each step. But actually doing this fully by myself today, so we'll see how it goes. Normally my partner helps me and he does the electrical side, but I've got his tools, so let's see what happens. Here I'm just taking out the elements. Sometimes they come out easy, sometimes they require a bit more tugging. You just have to mind the brickwork, and I wear a mask because it can be a bit dusty. So I normally use the needle nose pliers just to help pull the kiln elements out. So you can see there is one in here. And they are very brittle, so they sometimes do snap. And then you just want to mind the brickwork when you pull them out. Someone's probably going to say I'm damaging the bricks, which it does damage the bricks because I'm not very careful. And then you pull them out. Easy. So I've got all the elements out and they're just in the bottom of the kiln at the moment. I just wanted to show you the difference between a bad element and a good element. So this pack here, this is all the new elements that are going to go in my kiln, and this is one of the old elements. So you can see this one, they've started collapsing on each other, and at this point they're going to keep being fired and fired and fired, and they're just going to melt on top of each other and go through the brickwork, which I've had happen before. And they're also super brittle and will just snap. Whereas the other ones, these are really flexible. You can stretch them, bend them all around, and they're not going to snap. Good element. Okay, now we're down at the side of the kiln, and once I've taken all the elements out, I need to now open the kiln to detach the elements from the electrics. Pull the electrical part of the kiln. All of the elements are coming out of these holes down here, and they're numbered and going into the computer here. So I firstly need to unplug them all. So that's the elements unplugged. Then there's 2 wires going up here to the thermocouple, which tells the temperature. So I'm going to unplug those as well. And that's everything detached from the casing. Hi, can I help you? What do you want? Yeah! I've just taken the box off, which it just lifts up and come off. And now I'm going to separate my kiln. Bruce's tail keeps hitting it. Now I'm going to separate these 3 sections of the kiln, which is something that's really good about skutt kilns. I sound like I work for them, I don't, I just like them. I'm also going to take these out because when I actually lift the top off, so many times I've dropped a bung. So I'm going to take them out so I don't break any of those. And I've roped in Lisa to help me with this. It's actually quite heavy, but super simple to do. I've now emptied out all of the kiln elements, and I've hoovered even in these little grooves, just to get rid of any dust. I should do it more often than I do, but don't tell the kiln gods. Just to say, there's different elements for the bottom and the middle of the kiln. So the bottom and top have these elements, the middle have these elements. These ones are a bit thicker than these ones, and that's just the way the heat is distributed. It's just different elements for the areas that take more energy and less energy. So I'm gonna put the bottom one in first, and then I'm gonna work up the middle. The only thing to worry about here is making sure all of the corners and bends in the kiln elements line up with the bends in the brickwork, as they're made to fit that specific size. There's then lots of little pins that you have to put in all these corners just to make sure that when they're heated, the elements don't fall out and just holds them in place. So this is the electrical bit of it, which is something I don't normally do myself, but these are the new elements that have come through here. These are still the old element ends, and what I need to do is change over this and join it onto here. So first thing I'm going to do is cut this just down to a shorter length. I need the muscles for this. And I'm gonna cut the end off here. So now I've got 2 bits of wire that need to go together. To start with, I need to expose the wire because the casing is around it. And I use my partner's fancy tool, which just takes the end off and exposes the wire. And these 2 are now going to become 1 and go inside one of these. So I've put those 2 wires in, and now I'm just going to crimp this together. Using this tool, I don't think it's made for it, but it works like a treat because otherwise I'm not strong enough to do it. So they're crimped in there, and now this gets crimped back on here. 2 hours in, nearly done. One thing to make sure of is that no excess element is poking out, which I didn't realise till after I did it, and then you just do it several times over. And I made loads of really weird noises throughout doing this, so I thought I'd just share them all with you. Enjoy. Take off your gloves. Let's take it all off. Actually, I'm gonna use the scissors. Eat. Chop, chop. Oop. Beep-a-doop. Pop you on there, buddy. Yes. This guy. You come with me, sir. Sorry. Just shaking your head. Thank you. Need a little clippy clip. Put you on there. Squeeze. Squeeze. Yeah. Oh yeah. The last squeeze. Okay, maybe I. Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a strong, independent woman right here who does her own kiln elements. Actually, I am genuinely quite proud of myself for doing that all myself because that wasn't fun. Not going to lie to you, doing your kiln elements isn't fun. That's not why we do pottery and why we make pretty things. But it saves me some money, which is very important. And it was up 2.5 hours. And I spent half an hour figuring out how to use the tools, to be honest. But yeah, we did it. Go me.